Good afternoon, everyone. It's your boy Shad Talks Grabs, and we are back with another episode of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. It's Tuesday. Y'all know what that means, man. We're here to review Monday Night Raw, and we are on the road to WrestleMania. We had a jam-packed episode last night. A lot was going on, and I'm excited to talk about it. We got a great panel today. I'm going to introduce the first co-host for today, and then we got another co-host who will be on the show very shortly. But y'all know who he is, man. He's the man that gives you the reviews for NXT every week, just like I do, but he gives you a little bit more detailed. My boy Archie Carter, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thanks, mate. Yeah, we're on the road to Mania, and it's heating up a bit now with the women's division and the main event scene as well. So it was a good show last night, I thought. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yes, sir, and let's do that. We do have Chaos who will be on the show very shortly, so it's going to be a good panel for today. First and foremost, we do have some comments already out the gate. And it's just y'all knowing that Stream Elements is telling us we're live right now. So let's talk about the first topic, because you mentioned women's wrestling, and we have this new champion on Monday Night Raw, a person that you and I are both big fans of, Io Sky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. She gets the little interview from Michael Cole, and it gets interrupted. She has initially her first opponent, who we think it is set for one-on-one, Bianca Belair. They're talking, but that's interrupted by Rhea Ripley. And it was a really good segment, in my opinion, man, because I like the idea of you have the person why she's champion. Her mind is clear. She's locked in. She's only focused about wrestling right now. Io is only focused about being champion, and that's why she won. You got Bianca. She's got a lot of things going on right now. The whole situation with her two friends, right? Jade and Naomi. Then you got Rhea Ripley, who lost because she thought Bianca was trying to get one up on her, and she's having all these trust issues. They get a bit of a shouting, and they disrespected Io. They pushed her by the face, and I'm just like, what is going on? Io wasn't having none of it, man. Io wouldn't have had none of it. She smacked Rhea, and then she smacked Bianca Belair. I liked it a lot. I still think we are leaning towards a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I don't think you would have Rhea so much in the fold if you weren't going to have a triple threat match. But it's going to be interesting, man. I like the segment a lot. I'm curious to know what you thought. What are your thoughts on the segment between these three ladies yesterday?
Yeah, this was a brilliant segment, a fantastic segment. Last week I was really surprised by Io winning, pleasantly surprised, because she deserves it. Because over the past year she's not really been in, like, after her WrestleMania loss last year, she's not really been in the main event scene. But now she has been showing everyone kind of just why, or reminding everyone why she's the best in the world at what she does in the tag team division. So she completely deserves this spotlight at WrestleMania. And yeah, the segment had a lot of things I liked about it. That you were going through some emotions. It was a very wholesome segment with the "You Deserve It" chants for Io. And MSG was incredibly behind Io last night, and which was awesome to see, because, as I said, she deserves it. And Bianca and Rhea coming out, as I think I agree with you, it's going to be a triple threat. Bianca and Rhea had a fantastic back and forth promo. which just makes me even more excited for their eventual one-on-one match. And I was a bit annoyed like you when I saw them pushing Io away, but Io was standing up for herself. And I've got to be honest, I know Rhea is getting the bigger reactions, and I know Bianca's getting big reactions, but I've got a feeling that by WrestleMania, Io is going to be the favorite for this match. She's going to be the sentimental favorite, I think, from the fans' point of view. Because how can you not love Io? She's as cool as hell. She's awesome in the ring. She's probably one of the most charismatic wrestlers I've actually seen since watching wrestling. And you're talking about a triple threat match, a potential triple threat match between probably Triple H's 3 favorite wrestlers in the women's division. And I know he probably won't say he has favorites, but if he had to say, I think Bianca, Io, and Rhea, they've been his favorites since NXT days. And look, I know we're about to get into Roman and Punk and Seth and all of that, but for me, this should main event night 1. You know, Io, Bianca, and Rhea, these are 3 megastars we're talking about. And we haven't seen the women main event WrestleMania since Sasha and Bianca, if that's right. And this is the right story to main event it, because it's got a lot of heat behind it. The crowd are behind it. You know, I was looking on social media earlier today, and the clip of Io standing up for herself had 2 million views, and the clip of Roman Reigns returning only had like 1.5 million views or something. So, you know, it's not as though that there's a massive difference between these women and the 3 guys that we'll talk about later in terms of their stature within the company and their popularity with the fans. So for me, I feel like this really needs to main event, and this was a great way of telling that story to start things off. But yeah, I really hope it does main event. We saw Triple H say that the women have a chance to main event for sure this year, and we know how much he likes Bianca, Io, and Rhea. So if it was going to be anyone that's going to get a main event for the women, it's going to be these 3. So yeah, I really hope they get the main event. And you can see the crowds behind all 3 of them and behind this match.
Nah, and you raised a lot of good points in regards to this topic about women's main events. Has been a discourse that has been a big one in the wrestling space.
Over the past week or so, it has.
Yeah, especially this past weekend, obviously with the wonderful Revolution show we saw in Mariah May and Tony Storm. I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying. Obviously, I don't know where it falls in line. And we'll talk about that. I guess we'll talk about that when we get to talk about it, right? When we have both of these matches booked and locked in at the end of the day. But in my opinion, in regards to what you said about Io Sky, I 100% agree. It's one of those cases where I think they've booked this match, if it does become a triple threat match, perfectly, because you hold the uncertainty of Bianca and Rhea winning, because what we were speaking about earlier, if your mind is not 100% in the game going into a match at WrestleMania for a world title, then you might not come out victorious. We see it in sports all the time, man. You see some of the best athletes, some of the best football players, soccer players, basketball players shrink, become like tiny when it comes to when it matters the most and it's time to shine. And that could be a big reason why Bianca, loses her undefeated streak. That's a reason why Rhea might not retain her title. And I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if Io did retain, because like you said, I think Io is just one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, just bell for bell. I don't think there's a lot of people that can, lace up her boots.
She's getting more and more popular each week. And I think the beauty of this match, if it does end up being a triple threat, even if it just stays as Io and Bianca, you still don't know where it's going to go. I honestly couldn't say with my chest out who I think was going to win this. And that's the beauty of it, because a lot of the time when you've got these big time matches like last year, we had Cody and Roman. You can kind of say that we thought Cody was going to win. Same with Drew and Seth. I thought that was maybe a bit obvious that Drew was going to win. But here, I honestly don't know who can win this match. And something I did want to say before we move on is what I love now is something that the WWE's been lacking is individual character arcs for the women's division.
Yeah.
And now the main event scene in the women's division, you've got Bianca who's feels heartbroken and betrayed. You've got Rhea who's just kind of focused on not making friends and getting her title back and being successful in this business. Io, she's the same. Jade's got vengeance on her mind. Naomi, with Naomi, it's jealousy. This is what we've wanted to see with the women's division is individual character arcs that we can kind of get invested in. So because they've got so many talented women on the roster, they just need to give them something to sink their teeth into, and they're doing that right now on the road to WrestleMania. So I think,
to that point, it also goes with it not revolving around one title or whatever it may be. Like a big reason I was kind of even against the mid-card titles being brought into the main roster is because I always thought it was a crutch. It's like you don't need mid-card titles to tell more stories for women superstars. You can just tell stories. And like you mentioned just now, like I think the Naomi, Bianca, and Jade storyline is one of the best in pro wrestling right now in the WWE
100%.
for sure. And there's not a title. I mean, there was the title, obviously, with them being former tag champs, but now you had the whole nuance of Naomi. Why did she attack her? The friendships, and everybody got like people are trying to unravel, peel back the onions, and see what the truth is behind all of it. So let's read some comments and we're gonna get another opinion on this because I'm excited to hear what he's got to say. And first and foremost, man, y'all are great in here. Fernando saying, "What's up? Raw was excellent." He thinks it should be a one-on-one match because it's been waiting for a long time
with Bianca and Rhea.
Yeah, and I don't disagree, but I'm not mad at where we're at right now. Maria,
I think Bianca and Rhea, that's got a real good chance at not just main eventing WrestleMania Night 1, main eventing WrestleMania Night 2. So I think the right move here is to build to that, and they can build to that for a year. And by the time we get to Mania 42 in New Orleans, Bianca and Rhea could have a genuine shot at main eventing WrestleMania Night 2 if they tell the story right. So I think they're doing the right thing here, personally.
For sure. And then Maria saying this match in main event Night 1, it's a lot more interesting than Jay and Gunther.
Yeah.
I gotta get the opinion that matters the most, man. And it's the host of Take It to the Table, my dog Chaos. Welcome to the show, brother, man. I gotta ask you, man, all that has happened last night in regards to that segment. I want to know your opinion, obviously, on the couple of things. One, how did you like the segment? But there's this discourse about what should main event Night 1 for Mania. And it seems like we got 2 triple threat matches in the fold potentially being set. You could just be honest with me. Let me know which one you think will main event or what should main event. But most importantly, what did you think about obviously the segment between Io, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley? And also, welcome to the show. You can plug yourself in too.
What's good, everybody? Apologize for being a bit late, but it's glad to be here. Obviously, standard Tuesday affairs, and we're obviously going to be talking about Monday Night Raw now. Obviously, regarding Io Sky and the segment that took place. I thought it was fine for what it was. Obviously the shock win with Io Sky winning the title last week. I'm pretty sure no one had that on their bingo cards at the time. No discredit to Io Sky, but obviously Rhea Ripley is Rhea Ripley, and you thought they were going to be leading her with her being the champ 2 WrestleManias in a row. being that case. But yeah, no, man, it was a fun segment. Obviously, with the little face off between Bianca and Rhea, I feel like they could have probably gone a little bit deeper with the burns. But ultimately, Io Sky got the biggest pop out of it. Slapped them both to smithereens and saying like, "Wow, how can you disrespect me when I'm the champ? Just because I'm not as tall as y'all and not muscular. Don't think I won't moonsault your ass all over this damn arena." So yeah, no, I'm pumped for it. It should be a good triple threat, even though Bianca is she a Raw superstar or a SmackDown superstar? She's a SmackDown superstar, isn't she? I
Yeah,
forgot.
she is a SmackDown superstar.
She is a SmackDown, but she's going to be on a Raw match. It's kind of a weird one. But you see the reasons why Rhea has beef with Bianca and all that kind of stuff. So it feels kind of forced, but at the same time, it's not forced. But either way, I am here for it. Is definitely a worthy match to be a main event. Will it main event? No, I don't think it will. I don't think it has that momentum behind it, like how Bianca versus Sasha did, or it not even really be a co-main like how Charlotte and Rhea Ripley was. The main event probably, I feel like it would be the triple threat with Roman Reigns, Punk, and Seth Rollins. Punk finally gets his main event. You got Roman Reigns is there. I don't think he's going to settle for anything less, which is fair enough. And Seth Rollins has put in that work all year round for the past 2 years, actually. So I think he is definitely worthy of that spot. So I think out of all the storylines, even with the Jay versus Gunther thing, I feel like one night has to have a good where a babyface wins, and then the second night has to have where a heel wins, which is obviously I feel like John Cena is going to get his 17th title. So which was the same as last year where the Bloodline won night 1, but Cody won at night 2. So I feel like they're going to do that as well. It's not going to be a feel good moment or a feel bad moment either way. So yeah, and probably Jay versus Gunther will probably be the opener maybe, because with his entrance he can get the crowd hyped. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Nah, for sure. I'll be honest with you. We'll talk about it in the last topic, but if that match is made, that is a main event match. I love them ladies, man, but Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins.
Well, what I will say is when Becky main evented with Ronda and Charlotte, right? She was very over. I think Rhea is more over than Becky was at that time. So I think, although maybe I don't think there's too much of a difference between popularity between them as people may think.
And
personally,
the issue is that like Chaos was also mentioning, I don't think it's a problem with the people in the match at all. It's just how we got here more than anything. And that's kind of where it's like, because like if we're talking about, and even with that, like if we're talking about a story that's been built, for since obviously the Royal Rumble, and talking about a super over superstar, it should probably be Jay versus Gunther. And honestly, if that did main event, I wouldn't be mad at that, because I'm gonna assume Jay is gonna have the feel good moment, main event Jay Uso becoming world champion, right? That'll be a big time moment that could go in the history books. But we'll have to wait and see. The main event debates between all of us has been interesting, man. We were going kind of crazy.
It's happened outside of the daily as well.
Yeah, but I mean WWE, like for Mania, I'm gonna give them a little bit more leeway, just because they got more matches that can arguably be better than what is offered. Mariah and Tony compared to what we got with Mox and the artist formerly known as Edge. I don't know about that. But I digress. Let's talk about something else that happened last night, and it is my pet peeve, man. Because what the hell are we doing with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles? AJ Styles is a wrestler's wrestler. He is one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, and they got AJ Styles in a whirlwind of celebrities. obviously, Logan Paul comes out last night, gets a lot of heat in the crowd at MSG, Madison Square Garden. And he comes to a friend of his, he thinks it is, and it's comedian Andrew Schultz. He's asking him, yeah, man, why you come out here? You came to see me, right? He's like, no, man, I came here to see the main event. He gets mad, he pulls him out, and AJ Styles runs in, makes the save for Andrew Schultz. This is Netflix on Raw. It's really good. I'm digging a lot of these shows, but it is a celebrity fest. They giving us every celebrity. They even showed Nardo Wick, Chaos. Out of all the people they showing, I didn't think Nardo Wick would have got a little camera cut, but this is kind of where we're at. And AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, I don't know, man. I guess it, in a way, makes sense just because AJ Styles isn't really doing a whole lot. But I still am trying to grasp and figure out what is the intrigue of Logan Paul. Every time I Google or hear about him, it's something bad. He's scamming people. He's selling people grade F Lunchables. I'm not sure, man. I guess he could wrestle a little bit. Chaos, I wonder, man, can you make a little bit more sense of this segment? And did you like it as well?
Yeah, no, this was pretty much just a filler for me. And yeah, I agree. They're really shoving down the celebrities in the crowd down our throat. But I give it a pass for this one because this was at MSG, and I know they really go out when it's a a well-known arena that they're at, whether it's the Staples Center. I'm not calling it the other name. It's the Staples, or is it the United Center? No, they don't do United. They do what's the other one they do in Chicago? But yeah, usually when it comes to the big arenas, they always like make sure you know that the celebrities are there. And but yeah, this whole thing with Andrew Schultz was, I mean, he's funny. I mean, he's controversial, but he's a funny guy and stuff. But I mean, I don't feel like he is that well known as much. So yeah, to choose him of all people, and you definitely felt like he felt a bit out of his depth regarding this. But yeah, then obviously you see AJ Styles associating him. I am disappointed that they're doing AJ versus Logan Paul at Mania. But I feel like the reason they did it is because Logan Paul needs someone that is athletic, and he usually puts on good matches with someone that is athletic, like he obviously with Seth Rollins or Rey Mysterio or something, and AJ Styles can still go. So yeah, I think it'll still be a fun match. It will be a nothing match because he doesn't do anything for AJ. I would much rather him have gone for the Intercontinental title because they were teasing that with Braun, and Braun needs a big match at Mania. But right now it's looking like as if he's not even going to be on the card, which is almost criminal. But yeah, it was what it was. I was very eager for it to be over, and yeah, it was just a whatever thing. So yeah, it's a shame for AJ because I think he deserves more, especially since he's looking to wind down his career the next couple years. But yeah, it's a good win for Logan. He gets to say for AJ Styles, but that's about it, really.
Yeah, and it does feel weird because Braun got the match with Finn next week too. So I thought that was going to be the road to WrestleMania. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like Mania, you should showcase a mix of all of your stars, especially the young ones.
Yeah.
Too. We got a couple comments on this. Fernando saying AJ versus Logan at Mania and wins the US title at Mania.
Yep.
How does that happen?
Yeah, exactly. And if they actually don't have plans for Braun, just throw him in a ladder match, like a multi-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Done.
I'm hoping Braun's on the Mania card. I don't see how they can leave him off, like you say, Chaos. I think if it was up to me, I'd probably have him face Sheamus and do that whole maybe a title versus career match where Sheamus has one last chance to win the Grand Slam.
But there's no momentum with Sheamus right now.
That's true.
So they're doing it now. I mean, they're running out of time. You got you got just over a month to really build it up. And even if you do that,
really isn't.
I think it's got to be Dom or Finn at this point with the way it's going. If they want him on the card,
I'm thinking it's gonna be Dom, and then Finn is gonna cost. Finn and Dom will maybe
pretty fun.
Have some turmoil at that point. It's crazy, man.
It did make me laugh, the celebrity stuff, because I think it was funny they tried to make a reason for putting Macaulay Culkin on there, because although I don't mind them showing him, they said
bro, you at every damn show.
And he also said the star of Running Point, and I've seen the show Running Point on Netflix. It's a pretty good show if you haven't watched it, but he's literally in it for 2 minutes. So we call him a star. He's in it for a 2-minute.
So and that goes, and honestly, that goes with reason for Netflix obviously being tied to all of this, right? They want to use it and they want to showcase all that they have. So this is going to be a common thing we see every week. We're going to see celebrities from random shows on these Netflix shows to plug and play them.
We're going to see the Stranger Things kids soon then on there.
They ain't kids no more, man. They old now. But, it's kind of crazy to think, but
100%. It's literally almost overnight.
Yeah, man.
They ain't even that old. It's crazy.
It's not, bro. They grow. You grow up fast. They're all young adults and stuff. So it's definitely wild to see. But we're gonna take a quick intermission real quick because we do have a couple things that we do need to talk about with y'all. First and foremost, we got to talk about the good people at Progress Wrestling. If you use the code WatchProgress1, you get half off your first month on demand Progress Plus. That is the home of Progress, Defy, and very much more. I highly recommend it. It's a great extensive library, and they also have great pay-per-views that are continuing to happen. Also, please do not forget, if you got a phone, if you got an iPhone, if you got your Apple, Android, you go to the Google Play Store, you go to the App Store, download Etsy. The Etsy app is on both. And if you go there, create your profile, go to upcoming streams, add us, man, and add all the good content creators there. It's such a dope space, man. You can have arguments with us. It's a real cool Discord to have. Highly recommend it. And yeah, let's get back to the show because the question in the streets is, who was under that mask yesterday? Who was under that mask yesterday? There was a luchador that came out and hit a very, very similar suplex as Chad Gable. He also said gracias, similar to a thank you, like a Chad Gable. But from what I saw backstage, Chad Gable was still there, and you saw security take this masked man away. Now, I don't know if Chad Gable has a twin brother out there. I don't know if Chad Gable just threw a mask on someone backstage and ran and went back in the street clothes. But we're going with another American gimmick. It reminded me, remember when Hulk Hogan came back in the lucha mask back in the day, Chaos? It's giving me a little bit of that. This storyline is super, super silly. It's super funny. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. A lot of people think this is Rey Fenix. Obviously, we know Penta's there. Penta is the one that made Chad Gable want to go take that flight to Mexico and look for someone and buy that $500 box, right? Which I guess is his mask, maybe. Who knows? And I don't know. Is this a way to get Rey Fenix back? I mean, Rey Fenix debuted into the WWE. I'll ask you, Archie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I thought this was I do really enjoy this storyline because it's, sometimes wrestling needs to be just a bit of fun. It doesn't need to be something you need to take seriously. And this is exactly what it is. If this also gets Chad Gable on the WrestleMania card, then I'm all for it because he deserves that. but it's gonna I'm gonna find it entertaining until or unless they reveal Chad Gable's masked man to be Ray Phoenix, because I won't be laughing after that, because Penta got given the star treatment straight away. He had the red carpet rolled out for him straight away, and if Ray Phoenix is debuting like this, then I think they've not done him justice, because I've spoken about this on the Daily before, but Ray Phoenix is genuinely one of the best luchadors in the world. I think he's genuinely one of the best luchadors in the world, so he needs to get that star treatment that Penta got if he does come into WWE. So I'm really hoping this isn't Ray Phoenix, but yeah, this storyline at the minute is a lot of fun. I think it's just going to be revealed to be Chad Gable, to be completely honest. But I do think that kind of what happened yesterday was done on purpose. So maybe people start to think, could it be Ray Phoenix? But I think WWE's got more sense than to debut Ray Phoenix like this. But this is a fun storyline, and it just further cements to me that Chad Gable can literally make anything work. Anything that he's given, he can make it work. We saw it with so many different times when he was in creative and when Vince was running creative. He was given so many kind of goofy things to do, and he made them all work. He continued to make it work to the best of his ability, and they wouldn't have worked with anyone else doing those goofy things that he's asked to do. He does deserve a bit better than this, to be doing these kind of weird storylines. But I don't mind it being a one-off thing. But I do hope that we get a more serious Chad Gable soon, that we saw when he turned heel on Sami Zayn, or when he was feuding with Gunther. Because that's when Chad Gable's at his absolute best. So yeah, a bit of a wild one. What if the masked man ends up being Jason Jordan?
Oh my God, that's crazy. I thought it was like Lindsay Dorado, because
he shaved his beard.
It's definitely not Gable. Like if you saw
yeah.
the complexion, it was a bit more tanned. Not to say that guy Gable's more tan, not tan, but it was like a different. There was a tattoo on his arm, like a very faint tattoo. And yeah, like I don't think it's Ray Phoenix either. It's just some random person. I think someone said it was Fuego del Sol. But yeah,
I think it's going to be one of those things where Chad's just going to get involved with whatever LWO's doing over the next few weeks, and we're just going to see a different person in the mask.
Yeah,
like every single week, and yeah.
So the fact that it's been over 24 hours and people still don't know who this person is, that's it's not Gable, and it's like they could have easily done it cheaply and done that, but it's I don't know if we're gonna see the same person or it's not gonna it's gonna be someone else.
I think it was Gable, like actually during the match.
I don't think it was. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was him, because I'm saying it just looked a bit too tan to me. I don't know what it was.
it looked like I don't know, man. I really don't know who it is. It's gonna be. It is one of those storylines that do come with a lot of intrigue. We got a comment on Instagram asking, what time does Raw come on next week? 3:00 my time. That's all.
And that's 7:00 in the UK, I think. So
that's correct.
And I'm excited about that because I don't have to stay up late at night to watch it. So that'll be nice. Man, let's get to what we want to talk about, guys. Let's talk about the main event, cage match. Archie came prepared. He's wearing a hoodie right now. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Physical bout. A lot of questioning y'all, like really G-checking each other in this match, because there was a lot of opportunities these guys could have just got out the door, but no, they wanted to completely dismantle their opponent because they hate each other. A lot of moves being done against each other, against whatever their opponent's moves is, and Seth Rollins gets the win. But did Seth Rollins really win? I don't know. We got our tribal chief back. The OTC, Roman Reigns, dragging that man, beating him down, hitting him with a curb stomp, and he got his lick back. Seth did him greasy at the Royal Rumble, and then we get Roman Reigns looking at the cage, and it is the wise man tending to a former friend of his, a comrade, CM Punk, and Roman ain't like that. Roman hits CM Punk with a spear. Oh, man, the question that we have today, Ben wants to ask us is, who will Paul Heyman side with? And I think we are so close to getting the end of Paul Heyman and Roman aligned together. I do think we will have a triple threat match. I do think that favor from Paul Heyman will somehow be cashed in at Mania. And I think Paul is going to align with Punk, and Punk is going to win that match at Mania. I just feel like this is kind of leading into that way. But my God, bro, this was an incredible closing segment to Monday Night Raw. Great main event and great, just moment with Roman coming back and leading to this. And that's what I was saying earlier, man. If this is the main event, this is the main event for WrestleMania Night 1. I can't stress that enough. Those are three of the biggest people in the company, regardless, man. This is our champion who's been championing for a while in Roman Reigns. This is the big draw that is CM Punk. This is the workhorse guy who carries the company for a while in Seth Rollins. You don't get these type of matches a lot. That's no disrespect to Gunther and Jay. That's no disrespect to Bianca, Io, and Rhea. That's no disrespect to whatever match you want to try to throw in there, Tiffany and Charlotte. This, to me, is a main event match if it happens, bro. Tiffany and Charlotte, you might have to get relegated to SmackDown, though. That's what I'm saying. But, I mean, obviously, we got a CM Punk guy here, but we got to go first with the Roman Reigns guy here, and also a CM Punk guy as well. Chaos, are you excited for this as much as I am?
Boy, am I ever, man. This, I'll be real. Out of everything that is going on right now, well, and this is tying up there with the Cody and Cena situation. This has definitely the most momentum to warrant being the main event. Everyone keeps saying, there's people making the morning, oh, it should be for the title. It should be for the title. This shows that with the star power that all these three guys have individually, and then you put them all in the blender and put them together, and it's still like it's just like magic. This just shows this doesn't need to have a title. No one wants to see Roman champion right now. No one's ready to see another reign from Seth Rollins, and Punk is still on his quest to be going for that champ. And I think there's more story to be told for him to try and gain a championship before he retires. So yeah, you might as well do it right now, where you don't have Roman or Seth in the title picture because that's busy right now, and obviously Punk, he's got his issues with both of these guys, and this has been going on since War Games, pretty much. So yeah, I am totally happy with this. I'm totally happy with it being the main event. The main event in question was absolutely great. We've been having a good slew of good cage matches lately from both companies, which I'm absolutely loving it. Sure, it was a bit finisher heavy. I don't think I've ever seen someone get their finisher handed to them by two different people in the same night from both Punk and Reigns, which was quite hilarious regarding the curb stomp. But yeah, no, it was great. Obviously Seth won, not by obviously how he wanted to, but he didn't care for it. He just was like, he was just genuinely shocked. He couldn't believe that Reigns turned up before he put him out for good. But yeah, the situation with Heyman, man, I do feel like Reigns is going to be losing his mind a little bit and going to be start talking down to Heyman, as he has done previously when he was at at the top level, when he was always talking down to Heyman or Sami Zayn or Jay and stuff. I think he's starting to unravel and be obsessed with taking out Seth, because anything that happens that involves Seth Rollins, he just forgets everything, and just sees red regarding him, and he doesn't care who is in his way. So So yeah, that's the story. And it might end up being a Punk guy, which fair enough. But yeah, I definitely feel like he's going to cash in that favor. It's going to be regarding this because Punk has beef with both of these guys, and it's going to be a barn burner. So I can't wait for it. Main event worthy for sure.
No doubt, man. And I agree with everything that you said on that. It's gonna be interesting to see the dynamic, continue to see what goes on with Roman and Paul as we progress. I like this comment, by the way. Both companies had excellent cage matches. Yes. For people to kind of hate on either or, things can be different, styles can be different, but
it's been a good couple of weeks for both companies, minus the main event of a certain company, but yeah, everything else. It's been.
Let's keep it positive.
Let's keep it positive.
Yeah. Arch, I gotta ask you the same thing, man. Thoughts on the main event, and who do you think Paul is gonna side with?
So the main event was fantastic. When I envisioned a potential Seth Rollins and CM Punk feud, I never would have thought in a million years that it would be basically a TV feud, but it's worked. I mean, I think, in my opinion, they put on a 5-star match on the Netflix premiere. They put on a fantastic match here. And as KL said, I was one of those people that was kind of like, a triple threat with no stakes. I don't really know how I feel about that, but you know what? I don't even care anymore because after watching this, it's just complete magic. As KL said, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, these are 3 megastars. And it's you can't get bigger than that. I mean, we got Cena and Cody on one night and Roman, Punk, and Seth on the other night. Like, WWE star power is just absolutely insane. About who Heyman might choose between Roman or Punk, I honestly don't know, to be honest. I could see either one happening. I do think that Paul and Punk want to have one more run together before Punk hangs up his boots. So I won't be surprised if it turns out to be Punk that he aligns with. But I don't think it's going to be like a proper heel turn from Paul or anything like that. I think he'll respectively leave Roman or something. But I see a lot of people online saying, this triple threat, they're wasting a potential Punk and Seth match, a potential Roman and Punk match, a potential Seth and Roman match. But I'm sorry, but this triple threat isn't the end of their story. It's the beginning for all 3 of their stories. We're going to get Roman and Seth again. We're going to get Punk and Roman. We're going to get a 3rd match between Punk and Seth. I absolutely know it, on a pay-per-view. This is just the start of the stories between these 3 guys. And it's, these are 3 people that don't need a title to make this work. And I know a lot of people say maybe Drew should be involved, but honestly, I think he would feel a bit like the odd one out, because you've got Roman and Seth, who's got that Shield history, and guess what? Punk's got that Shield history as well, because Punk is the father of the Shield in the way. He's the one that brought the Shield in. He's the one that hired them to help him win the title from I think wasn't it a triple threat with Cena and Ryback. So this is, in my opinion, this is the perfect match for this to happen. It doesn't need Drew. It doesn't need any other aspects. You can tell that story of Punk being the father of the Shield, bringing both Roman and Seth in, that they wouldn't be in the positions where they are today without Punk. You can tell that story about Heyman, with whether he'll choose between Roman or Punk. There's just so much to unpack here, and it's just the start of their story. This could go on for like a full year. And can I just say, I'm so happy that Roman's out of the bloodline stuff now, because it's a lot. He's a lot more interesting outside of it, and it just feels so fresh what he's doing right now. So yeah, I'm a big fan of all of it.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And I feel the Drew statement on both sides. I guess a lot of it is more so people aren't happy with the direction Drew is going to with Mania. But like, I mean, bro, it's kind of like how it is in like for my Eagles right now, right? You win the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, everybody wants to get paid big dollars. You can't pay everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be on the main card and wants to be in high position things, but you can't put everybody in the same high quality match. You got to fill out spots. And, whether he goes against, I'm guessing it's going to be Damian Priest probably, ain't a problem. Or he goes
Yeah.
against LA Knight, won't be a problem. It's kind of the situation at hand. Drew will get his chance. Drew and Roman will feud at some point. I can
Yeah.
definitely guarantee that. And also, there are more pay-per-views than just WrestleMania.
Of
You
course, you
can't
can't
put all the
blow.
good shit on one show,
Yeah,
man.
you can't blow all your
Yeah.
stories on one show. I mean, who's to say that the Drew Bloodline Hunter story isn't something that they're going to make into their big post-Mania story? So
Yeah,
it's,
And everyone's moaning that, why couldn't this be a one-on-one match? Well, we've already had Roman versus Seth. We've already had Punk versus Seth. The
And
only
we'll
one
still
we
get
haven't had is
those.
really Roman and Punk. So
Yeah, but we'll still get those as well.
For whoever thinks it should be any iteration of a one-on-one match is an idiot. I apologize. Like the money is it being a triple threat match. Like that is where people are paying big bucks for it. So I'm sorry, I don't like to call people dumb on their takes, but if you truthfully would rather see Roman versus Seth or Roman versus Punk or Punk versus Seth, like, nah, man, it don't hit the same.
What I want to see though is
Because
I
in
want to
that
see.
case, then you might need a title more than anything. If it is a one-on-one match, my bad.
Yeah, what I want to see is I want Roman to get back into his big dog kind of in-ring form, because we love the trouble.
Like moveset.
Yeah, no, I'll just kind of like I love the Tribal Chief Roman, but I feel like in ring wise he was better as Big Dog Roman Reigns. So I feel like if he can combine those,
damn, that's a hot take.
Yeah, I couldn't stand him back then.
No, but I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand
Succotash.
as in the ring, he was good.
You talking about
outside of the ring? Yeah, match wise, yeah, that's what I mean.
I
Promo wise,
Tribal
definitely
Chief
not.
Roman's
Definitely
matches,
not.
though. I feel like they're very like they're super story based, but like it has a good like I don't know. A lot of people complain about it, and like it's exactly what I said about the main event on Sunday. I was like, you haven't. That's why I called it a WWE ass match between Cope and Mox, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way.
No,
those guys. Okay, more of Edge. Edge has wrestled in the WWE like pretty much his entire career. He only knows how to wrestle a specific way. And Mox is one of the slowest freaking wrestlers pace-wise out there. Not disrespecting him. That's just how he does. And you want like AEW, you had like you're gonna have that after we had freaking Osprey, like literally after a freaking Osprey cage match. Come on, you were setting that man up for Doom, even though the storyline was ass. But that's not about AEW. It's about Monday Night Raw. And that is all the time we do have for this show, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm still a sicko. We'll be back the same time tomorrow. I think the same time. I don't know. This whole clock thing is confusing. But
yeah, same time tomorrow, yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be back tonight at 10:15 Eastern time with NXT. Off the air, myself, Drizzy, and Clark reviewing Roadblock. So tune into that.
Yeah, Julia versus Stephanie.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a crazy card. Appreciate y'all. In the words of Jay Uso, deuces, ooses, we are out. Peace.